Hi everyone, it's Aisha Chidole from the Chidole Law Firm. I'm an immigration attorney and trademark attorney here in Orlando, Florida, but I represent clients all over the United States. If you'd like to immigrate to the United States, or have a family immigration matter or want to protect your intellectual property, I will be happy to assist you. My number here is 407-995-6567. All right, so I'm going to be talking about immigration today, and I am going to specifically be talking about how you can self-petition on the basis of Vows. So let's start first with what does Vows stand for. So Vows simply means Violence Against Women's Act. Doesn't mean it protects women only. No. What it basically means is that, if you are a man or a woman who has been abused by your U.S. citizen husband or wife, if you are a child who has been abused by your U.S. citizen or green card holder parent, or if you are a parent who has been abused by your now 21-year-old or over U.S. citizen child, that you're eligible for this benefit. So again, if you're a U.S. citizen, if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, or your parents are U.S. citizens or green card holder, this applies to you. However, if you are a parent, you can only take advantage of this if your child is a U.S. citizen, not if your child is a green card holder. So you see the difference here. Your child has to be a U.S. citizen. Now, what is abuse? What kind of abuse will arise to the level that will allow you to file a valid claim? So when we're talking about abuse varies. So you can have psychological abuse, you can have verbal abuse, you can have financial abuse, you can have sexual abuse, you can have emotional abuse, you can have physical abuse. So abuse is not only physical, and physical is not only somebody punching you in the face, it's not only someone yanking your hair, it's not only, physical abuse can be putting you at risk of bodily harm or threatening to do that. For instance, if you get into a fight with your spouse, right, and your spouse starts driving recklessly, in an attempt to scare you, or, in the hopes that, maybe they can use it as a way to assert control over you, or your spouse stops on the highway in the middle of nowhere and tells you, get out of the car, get out, find your way home. That's abuse. That's physical abuse, because even though they've not physically hit you, they've put you in harm's way by putting you in a position where you could get hurt. You could get into an accident, you could get robbed or anything like that. So hopefully that helps you to understand what physical is. And then psychological is really just a lot about psychological and emotional kind of tie together, and there's usually one or both of them. A lot of times in most situations, it's about your spouse threatening you, threatening you about your status as a way to gain control over you, or telling you that if you don't do this, I'm going to make sure this happens. If you don't do this, I'm going to make sure you never see your children. If you don't do this, I'm going to make sure I don't do this for you, or they're aggressive, when they fight. Some people punch the wall, smash a phone, so they may not necessarily touch you, but they put you in apprehension, or fear that they could do something bad to you. So those are things that can affect you psychologically, and then verbal can just be what they tell you, like how they talk down to you, whether you as a parent, your child is, talking down to you as a parent, or you as a child, your parent is talking down to you, or you as a spouse, they're talking down to you, accusing you of stuff, making fun of your English or your education or where you're from or your culture, things that make you feel really bad about yourself, or use language that's really inappropriate and it's a consistent and a constant thing. So that's an example of what verbal abuse would be. And then, you've got the financial side, and if it's that, your parents don't give you money to buy food, they don't, they want to control all of that, like you're in the house starving when you can't even get food, as a spouse, because you're not allowed to go anywhere, right? Or your spouse doesn't allow you to go get a job, or they force you to work under the table so that you can contribute to the household, even though they know you don't have any paper. So that's just, some example, of what we would consider as financial. But of course, a lot of this, there's no one size fits all. Usually, when I consult with clients, it's with each client, your story is different. And then, there's obviously more things that develop. I'm just giving you guys some ideas and some summaries of what, some examples are. I'm sorry, my bracelet is so noisy right now, and I apologize for that. I talk with my hands. Anyway, and so let's talk about sexual abuse. And sexual abuse, of course, there's, there's obviously the rape where spousal rape or child molestation, but outside of those things, there are other things as well. Like, if your spouse, puts you at risk of an STD because you're going around sleeping around with other people, right? Or if your spouse, refuses to be intimate with you, or tells you you're not attractive, tells you they don't desire you, or forces you to terminate a pregnancy or makes you not get pregnant, or even though maybe you guys talked about family planning and all of a sudden they don't want to do it, or they hide something, without telling you. So, there are just so many different things, sometimes, and then sometimes people will say to me, oh, well, I don't know if I have enough stuff, I don't know what it is. And that's why it's really important to speak to an attorney to know what you have and if it will qualify you for it. So this is going to be just sort of like part one of this topic. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about just some kind of evidence and things that we gather that help, this types of cases, because, a lot of times people think that you need a police report. If you don't have a police report, then it didn't happen. But there are other ways that you can document and gather evidence, to show proof that you went through this stuff. And I'll talk about that in my next video. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you know somebody that's going through this in their personal life, I would love for you to forward this to them. If I can assist you personally in any way, definitely give us a call. Our number here is 407-995-6567. All right. Have a wonderful day, guys.